Hello, hello. We are here for a cover reveal, but this is a little bit different from our past ones. First of all, because I'm going to be the interviewer for it. Second of all, this is for a nonfiction title. So there's not going to be spoilers, can't talk about that in this discussion. And third of all, there are two authors associated with this book. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the lovely author tubers and authors behind 1000 Words to Get Started, a flash fiction prompt book with tons of fun things inside. Chandra Arthur and Natalie Locke, both of them write fiction on their own, but they have come together to make a flash fiction writing prompt book for everyone to enjoy after having streamed for, I think, like a year going on 2 with it. And the link to that playlist is in the description down below. And so I'm going to add them on screen and we're going to have fun. But before I do, here's a little animated intro to their show. Yes. So Chandra and Natalie, and we're gonna, whoop, there we go. You're both here. You're getting published. It's nonfiction, so I don't know if any of us saw that coming for, that being your first thing. But it's happening. Before we do the cover reveal, I was thinking you could both do a better intro of yourselves versus it being the collective that I've been doing so far.
Ourselves individually or like together as
yeah, yourselves individually, and then we'll go back to you being an awesome team for Flash Fiction.
I see nose goes over here, so I'm going to get started. My name is Chandra Arthur. I'm a science fiction, historical fiction, and flash fiction writer. Honestly, we write a little bit of everything because with flash fiction, you get to do that and nobody, will make you choose. And we've been doing this for I want to say it's over 2 years now. We actually met on a...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
it was a year and 2 months for the flashes, and then we started editing in January.
Okay, so my math.
But our first one was September, so we are over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my math was a little bit off. I do apologize, but
I just figured out the math, so no worries.
I was like, it feels like it's been some time, but yeah, that's
4 years.
That's how it all started.
It actually started on Zara's channel. First time I live streamed with Chandra, and I wrote, I got this book called Write the Story, and all my videos linked to them. It's Piccadilly Publishing. I reached out to them and was like...
Before we get into that, Natalie, why don't you tell people the type of fiction you write, and then we can jump into like how Flash Fiction Live started.
So fiction that I write, thanks for stopping me, is...
No, it's because I have a banner, and I was like, wait, I want to get into Flash Fiction after we've introduced...
Yes. I jump ahead. Welcome. So I'm Natalie Locke. I'm a mom of 2, and I have a full-time job, and I decided writing would help impede on my sleep more than those 2 things. So genre-wise, I've written 2 transcripts. One is a like multiverse sci-fi, so it kind of deals with the now, but at the same time not now. And the other is a dark women's fiction. But yet, with flash fiction, when I started that, I've completed like over 270 flashes since I started this, and it's like I've gotten every single genre just about. Oh no, haven't touched erotica. well, publicly I haven't.
Even more interesting. Yeah. So okay, now let's talk about how Flash Fiction Live started. You were saying it started on my channel, which...
Yes. It was one of your Sunday live streams. Chandra was on there. I was on there. I know other people were on there, but sorry, I only remember Chandra. And I love
yeah, I saw it coming
Veronica
in.
King. All right. The comments, I swear. Back to this. So we're on Zara's channel, and I'm talking about how I got this book called Write the Story from Piccadilly Publishing. Made sure to link it in all my videos because for a while there I didn't. I did reach out to them and they never responded with cease and desist. So I pressed forward. But they the book was good, had good prompts and 10 words. But Chandra and I, every time we did them together, we wanted more. So we started creating challenges to do it, whether it was write under 200 words or don't use any articles or any words with double letters in the middle, like little has 2 T's.
Your challenges like blow my mind. And when I'm formatting the book and I'm reading through all of them, I'm like, oh dang, like these are intense, not to scare people. Like they're
some of them we have done, some of them we haven't. Like I haven't done the challenge of wake up in the middle of the night and write, like in the middle of your sleep.
I mean, you already don't get enough sleep, so I'm totally fine with you not having tested that one out yourself.
But I knew, so the book had 200 flashes in it, or 200 prompts for flashes. I chose flashes because of the spacing in it and handwriting in there. I could get to maybe 600 words if I wrote tiny and I didn't care about paragraph space proper. But then I was like, well, let me just make it flashes. So I did the first one on your channel, shared the prompt with everyone on your channel. And Chandra wrote one and posted it in like private chat or in the comments, whatever it was. And that's when I did my first mistake of reading someone else's work using the same prompt in 10 words as you before you're done with your story. So I haven't done that ever since then. But when
you've learned.
I've learned. I will make a mistake, but I'll only make it once. 2 seconds, buddy. But when I got to before I got to flash number 10, I reached out to Chandra and I was like, hey, you want to do a live stream? And she said yes. And then the rest is history. We just kind of created and alternated on each other's channels.
With the challenges, one thing that motivated us to do more of that was as we are reading each other's stories and giving each other feedback, it was like, okay, I noticed that you do this a lot, or I noticed that you do that a lot. And so the challenges were really to target the things that we were noticing we weren't very strong in, and kind of a way for us to improve on that or really focus on it in an intense way. Sometimes when you're writing, the things that you're doing that aren't quite right, or the mistakes that you're making, you ingrain them repetitively over an extended period of time, where if you're sitting down and paying really focused attention to those mistakes, then you can kind of break yourself of that habit, or it kind of, I don't know, it sticks in your brain better, I feel like, for me.
Yeah. With flash fiction, you're able to finish it and then immediately critique it. I will say, Chandra and I broke another rule, but this rule we're okay with breaking. Which is, no, you cannot have an ice cream sandwich right now. You got to eat lunch. That was perfect timing.
Yeah.
But the rule was that with writing that I'm talking about, you did not have lunch, is the immediate critique of a first draft. Usually you don't do that, but with Chandra and I, it's really helped us. And I feel like it's also helped viewers kind of realize like how first drafts sometimes can be just rough.
Yeah. I think it's helped a lot just to get it out there. I think, neither of us have really been shy about sharing our first draft since we started doing this. And being able to get immediate feedback, I feel like has helped me drafting longer works or editing. It's made me a lot more objective than I was when we first started this. And because, there's so much that we're writing, I start to pick up on my own habits around writing of like, oh, that's like kind of my go-to thing, or these are my crutch words, or stuff like that. It makes it really easy to pull all of that out and be like, got it. This is a thing that I do, and either it works for a specific story, or I'm just leaning on that instead of, being more creative or branching out.
I love that. So let's do the cover reveal and look at this pretty beauty, and then we can talk more about the book and
I might have over here the sketch that I did with my friend.
Oh yeah, let's show that first before we show the actual.
I want it. God, where is it? I know I have it over here. This is not the. I should have been more prepared. But
okay.
Hi, Kelly, Samantha, Grayson.
Yeah. I do have it. Okay. So hopefully it's not washed out here.
No.
So I wanted to call it Prompt and Story Stance because Chandra and I both like puns, and we fell in love with that. And
I loved it as well, but a sales meeting was highly recommended. Yeah. This is not like searchable on Google. Please come up with a different title. And then I told them, and they were both like, "Oh, so like why?" And I was like, "It's too punny for Google." I'm sorry.
It's okay. We'll do puns in the marketing.
Exactly.
So Chandra and I were talking. We wanted something with like writing. So up here in this corner area is all the like looks like pieces of writing that piece together. And then down below is rough sketches. Don't judge. I was throwing things together. It's like supposed to be woods. Wait, wrong side. Woods over here. A windmill and stuff. And it was all supposed to be done in like pencil, showing a rough sketch, just starting. But we had the chat of putting the drawings on there kind of made it seem like a prompt drawing book, not writing.
Yeah.
So we came up with another idea, worked on Canva. I'm surprised I still have that. And came up with what Zero is about to share.
Well, you know what? I have the thing from Canva as well. So like,
show the whole process.
Yeah. So here is the little mock thing. Natalie and Chandra had done maybe 3 to 5 versions in Canva. And then I took the little bits and pieces that I liked from all of them and kind of combo here.
Using your expertise of what works with covers and such.
I just know what I like, and I've yet for someone to tell me like, oh, what you wanted was a bad idea. It's just the execution I know is not like my forte, and I'm okay with that. So this was a mock-up that we did. And as you can see, this is the old title, Prompt and Story Stance. It's too punny for the sales team, unfortunately. So we tried. And then now we are finally getting to the cover reveal. I'm going to, it's going to push us off to the side once I do this. And I'm actually showing the full wrap, which has not been shown on social media or even on the publisher website, but this is it. And it was designed by Mandy Lynn of Stone Ridge Books. And she's also the creator of like the book launch planner and did stickers for a while. And, you know, she's great. She designed this. I love it. You will notice if you pay attention to things about like book covers and things like that, is that this does not have flaps, which means it's not a dust jacket. And that is because this book is a paperback that you can write in. And it will have stickers at the back of the book because you know what? Adults, we like stickers too. And you will be able to take those word stickers and plop in 10 for each prompt. And because of that, there are 101 writing prompts, 101 writing challenges that you can pair with those prompts, and 1,000 stickers that allow, of which you're choosing 10 each time, to customize your writing experience.
Each of the 1,000 words is an individual sticker that you place in one of the prompts.
Yes. And with all that customization, we did out the math. It took us a few tries.
Zara did the math.
Okay, fine.
I can't take credit for it.
I did the math. Natalie had to run it by her very mathy friend to make sure I was using the right formula.
My friend has a PhD in math, so I did run it by him just to make sure we were good. But
yeah, I was like, there are two formulas. I don't remember which one I'm supposed to use. Anyway, math. We found out that there are over 2 octillion combinations.
I watched.
To create prompts, to create the prompt and the challenge and the words. That's not even to say the fact that an individual writer, as we have the 2 creators of Flash Fiction Live up here, could be given the same prompt, the same challenge, and still come up with and the same words and still come up with different stories. So this is 2 octillion different options you have for yourself. And then if you and a friend decided to like do a buddy version of it, then you would still get different stories. So a lot of fun.
10 out of 10. I'm always going to recommend doing it with a buddy for obvious reasons.
That's now going to be a thing. Yeah.
But please peer pressure your friends into buying the book with you so that y'all can write together.
We'll talk more about the book, but the pre-order, we talked about the 1,000 words, the stickers, all fun. If you pre-order and register your pre-order on the book page in the form, just scroll down a little bit underneath the buy buttons. You fill in the form, upload your receipt, and then when the time comes, you will get another page of stickers that won't be available anywhere else. So even more fun. And then we may or may not have other ways to be doing extra words in the future, but the words that will be shared for the pre-order incentive will only be through the pre-order incentive. So get on it. Now, about the book, you can write in it. There are lots of pages. I made sure to give lots of space for each prompt because I don't like books that are either here are just the prompts and there's no space to write in them.
Yeah.
Or here's a book, there's space to write in it, but is there really space to write in it?
Like, can you only fit 600 words if you write really tiny and ignore paragraphs?
Yeah.
No offense to them. It was great to push us.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I was totally clear. So the stickers are the word bank, but instead of there being pages at the back where it's like, pick 10 words for this prompt and then turn back and write them in, you go to the back of the book, you pick the words you want, and as stickers, you just plop them in underneath. So let me pull up what the first prompt looks like.
Sneak peek.
Yes. That's all, That's how to use the book, all the list of all the things. That's staying a secret. But for the first one, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, so here you have a box that will, in the instructions earlier, which I'm not showing on screen, that's where you put the number of the challenge that you may or may not be doing. You don't have to pair a challenge with each writing prompt. That is optional. But then
artistic license.
Yes. And then down here is where you will put the stickers. And there's not a line for each one because some words are longer than others. And they will all be formatted the same way to be equal, like the same length, but it will probably make the most sense for you to like grab a little scissor and like cut the words a little bit shorter if it's a shorter word so that you can fit all the stickers in the boxes. Thank you, Regina.
Thank you.
Great gift for friends who write. Yeah. You just give it to them and they're like, oh, what's this for? It's like, we're doing a buddy writing project. Didn't you know? That's my real gift to you.
You get to write with me. You're welcome.
Yeah. So do you want to talk more about like how you decided you're actually going to write the book? You were the ones who pitched the idea of stickers to me.
Yeah, either Chandra came up with the sticker idea or my mom did. I don't know which one. But Chandra and I, we kept on. So we would do a prompt with write the book, do that prompt, the guided, and then we always created our own and had a challenge. And I don't know how the challenges came about, but we were like, yeah, let's do it. And then it became a thing where every single Flash Fiction Live, it was write the prompt and then our own, where we had chat help pick the words. I had a spreadsheet that I created of like over 1,000 words, like I think 1,300. And chat would give us a cell like L32. And that would be the word that we would do. So it was purely random. Sometimes my daughter would chime in and give me numbers and letters. And then we were talking about challenges and such as like write a children's book or make it rhyme or the first letter of each paragraph has to spell out a word or something or a phrase. And like it kept growing. And then at a certain point we were like, we should make money off this. We should share this with others and everything, because our YouTube channels are not as popular as book world would be. So and we've both written stories and yeah, actually, you know what, I think where the challenges came from is that we noticed Chandra's stories were always dark and mine were always like happy endings, and we're like, we need to change and switch. And that might be how it started.
I know there was definitely that, and then I would write a lot of prose and not a lot of dialogue, and you would write a lot more dialogue and not as much prose. And so we were like, we should flip-flop and do a challenge where you write only dialogue.
That's definitely where a lot of the challenges came. We saw our differences and was like, we need to try the other side.
Yeah, I challenge you to do it this way. I remember there was definitely one where I was not allowed to kill anyone in my story. So
I do remember that. I don't think I was able to stay for that whole stream, but I think I did hear that.
And no one died on page. I remember that for sure.
So like no one died on page.
Happy ones,
brief, right?
You wrote a happy one. I forget. I mean, I can't remember the stories verbatim. I remember the feeling, and to me, that's like the way stories should be, is that you probably can't remember details, but you remember the feeling it gave you. And I remember being pleasantly surprised and happy, but at the same time going, when's the other shoe going to drop? When's the other shoe going to drop?
Yeah. I think the most recent Flash Fiction live stream that I was able to watch was there was like the person who was allergic to everything and was going on a date, and then like,
oh yeah,
and it was, I'm not going to share that, so just going to be super careful about, first we're only going out for drinks, and then we're going to go out to like places that I know where they don't serve the things that could, and then let's go for a picnic. And
oh yeah, that was a fun one.
That was the challenge, was to write the same scene from 2 POVs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually just edited that one not too long ago as well.
Yeah, I know. That's, you know what? That is, I think, one of the most fun things with the editing these flashes is for any writer to take up the prompt book, hopefully ours, and write every single prompt, go all the way through, and don't look at the others until the end, because they say you're supposed to let your story rest before you edit with a fresh pair of eyes. And I can tell you, there is times Chandra and I are coming back to these stories where like, I wrote this, like we rested so long, we're like, that's right, this is what happened.
When we did our final stream of like writing all of our prompts, we did, I think, 3 prompts in the same day. And then we went back and we had people randomly ask us who wrote this. And we were both sitting there like...
I was there for part of that stream. Apparently what's turning out is that I was just never able to stay for any of your streams.
Okay, well, that stream was a 12-hour one. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. But so the playlist that is in the description is Natalie had been compiling the live streams this was the writing one, and this is now we're editing them. But some of them were just Natalie, and Natalie's awesome. You can watch all of them on, the Natalie only ones on Natalie's channel. And then, because this is Flash Fiction Live presents.
I got Chandra's on mine too.
Yes. Yeah. So they're combined in that playlist, but the playlists that I've compiled are only ones where they're both together, or if one of them couldn't make it, there's a guest host, but it was after like the Flash Fiction Live branding had been established. So you're going to see that some of the numbers, it will be like episode 17 or something, and then it jumps to like episode.
That's also because my goal, the way this started, was I had 200 prompts to get through, and I wanted to get through all 200 within a year. It ended up being a year and 2 months. And it ended up being 250. Yeah, flashes. And it ended up being 250 because of those bonus flashes that Chandra and I did every single, it was on Saturdays then. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to Central Time, and I'm not waking up at 7 a.m. I was continuously doing prompts all the time. And so the episode for Flash Fiction Live was whatever prompt of the 200 we were on. And then we even did, we broadened it and did Flash Fiction February. We did Camp Flash, gotta say it in that order, not the other way, for June. Or no, July.
Yeah,
for July. And then now I'm doing, how do we pronounce it? F-to-no, which is edit a flash every day November is what I'm doing right now. But that's just, this is how I catch up.
Yes. So, there's so much to talk about, like what went into making the book, but I can't.
I mean, if you want, you can follow, watch all, like, every single Flash Fiction episode.
Definitely do that, for sure.
If you want to narrow it down to the ones where they're both involved at some capacity, the link is there. But otherwise, you can go to Natalie's YouTube channel, which is linked down below, and just click on her playlists tab. Yeah. Or you can go to Chandra's channel and search Flash Fiction, and you'll get the ones that were hosted on Chandra's channel alone. Like Natalie said, she included ones that were on Chandra's channel in her playlist, as did I. But yeah, there's just
it's I mean, we're talking 2 years worth of a story here, and I just didn't expect a nonfiction. But honestly, the more we talked about it, the more we were like, we realized we were creating a prompt book that we wanted.
Yeah,
one that we were like creating for ourselves digitally.
I think,
and then the moment stickers were said, we were like, yes, done, make it happen.
The stickers, I remember sitting in my car, we'd been talking about something, and I was sitting in my car, and we were just on the phone like, oh my gosh, we have to have stickers. It needs stickers. Stickers must happen. And we were so excited. And I know you said something about your mom had gotten you some kind of like cubes or something, like story cubes or something like that. And we were talking about, those and the randomization, and that I think that kind of played in, and we were like trying to think of a way that we could bring that into the prompt writing book and combine it with the challenges to make it really seamless. And I felt like the stickers was the best way to do it, because you still have the randomization, you still have that element of control where you can make it your own, and you don't have to go back and forth and write this down or go back and forth and write that down, where it's like, how do I spell that again? Whatever. It's me. It's me. It's
me too. I think
be able to move them over.
Well, and for me, there were so many times where you would use a word and I'm like, what does that mean? And I'm like having to look it up, and I still feel like a kid using words sometimes. Like it says noun, but I'm like, am I using it as a noun in the story?
You know, I still don't think about words in those ways. I definitely remember people being like, "Okay, so this is a verb," and I'm like, "I'm not really sure what you're talking about."
And then we grew up to be writers.
Exactly. That's how that goes.
Sometimes it is. Like, that's just how it is. And you know what? That's what matters. I was looking up the data for the write the story because I actually forgot that that was the thing that like inspired you both, and I was like, oh, you know what? Another comp title for your book.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's great. It's very exciting.
I will say that Chandra and I really like the 10 words, but we also, the difference between that book and ours, besides, you know, awesomeness, is we also allow people to edit their prompts, like, and put in a word in the prompt.
Oh yeah, there are some prompts where it's
blank, and you can, and just because we have stickers doesn't mean you can't just handwrite it yourself. Maybe you heard a word on the train or bus or something, write it in, use it. Be like, someone said flipper nickel. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to use that one.
I really like that aspect. Of course, I'm obsessed with. I still have a folder of stickers that I've collected like over my life thus far that I have, and some of them I'm never going to use this sticker because it's too pretty. But I love me some stickers. So having it be like the whole purpose of the sticker is that they're usable in a spot where it's like not going to get damaged. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But
And what's kind of cool is that you could buy multiple copies of this book or write it. I'm not going to say how to cheat or whatever, but you could write multiple versions. I
that's
will
true.
say, of each prompt and just be like, what if? And that's kind of what Chandra and I did, is this what if exploring and having both of us get the same prompt and then write two different things. It has really helped having that continuous, steady exercise of the creative mind. And I think that's what made us get to the point where we were like, you can find prompts anywhere, to where we used the junk drawer as a prompt. We would stick our hand in the junk drawer, whatever we pulled out, we would write about. Of course, Chandra had someone die. Mine made it seem like someone had died, but it was actually happy, per the norm. But either way, like it taught us that as long as you're always thinking creatively, you shouldn't have that white page freeze of what do I write about. Yeah. And that's what we're hoping to fix.
Honestly, since we've started doing flash fiction, I will say that's not something I think about anymore, as like the blinking cursor and the blank page. Because every time you sit down to write flash fiction, that's what you're looking at. But instead of it being like overwhelming or anything like that, it's like you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many possibilities, there's so much inspiration, and it makes it really fun to just jump in with whatever pops into your head.
You get desensitized to it, I think, to a certain point. Because it's exposure therapy. With flashes, we are exposing ourselves to blank pages so much that we are just, it's nothing by the end. Which, I mean, is another point to flashes. If you ever have the issue of you're unable to finish a story, write a flash. You'll finish it.
Yeah, I've definitely really appreciated the idea of writing flash. I've just been too busy to like do it myself. But yeah, the blank page seems a lot less scary when it's like, oh, here's all of these ideas kind of set out for you to mix and match. So you're not starting from zero even up here. And then, you know, even if you don't feel like you can write a whole novel about it, that's fine. You're not supposed to.
Chandra and I, it really helped desensitize us to like writing crap. I'll just say it, like there's been stories where we're like, I don't like this, I hate it, I don't want to expand upon it and everything. And it's still in the realm, and we'll see when we get to the editing point of it. But it's it happens, and we just go, all right, next flash, move on. Like, because the goal is to create it. The goal is not to make it perfect. And I think that's also what helped with the prompts that we did, of like, just create the prompt. You got 30 minutes on the clock, create the prompt. I highly recommend, though, unlike in Flash Fiction Life, where we have time stamps for ourselves of like, edit in 20 minutes, write a new one in 30 minutes. Do not set a timer for yourself. Just write the story.
I will say, I think some of the challenges regard a timer, but one was like, oh, after every 100 words, like you have to take a break or something.
Yes.
But again, like the challenges are there for fun. Nothing in the book is mandatory, so you don't have to pair a challenge with a book. I think there is a challenge where it's like, write a previously written flash, and then it has ways that you're supposed to rewrite it, so like either from a different point of view or like a different like third versus first person or something.
You know our better than we do now.
Yeah, there was a tweak. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but it was a lot of cool things. So I have, like I said, I have not watched a Flash Fiction live stream from start to finish. So was this the Hammer one?
I don't. Maybe Hammer was one of the words to use.
I think Regina was participating in chat, which meant everybody was encouraged to go to their own junk drawer and pull something out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember, I was going to say, as far as the inspiration coming from everywhere, as we were working on this, there was one time where we did a specific challenge, and I had been stuck on another project that I was writing, and the flash that I came up with, I was like, oh, this answers backstory to my other project, which is a full book that I've drafted. And it like restarted my creativity around that and like gave me some answers to something I was stuck on. So even though you don't have to write a whole story, it can still come into play and like give you inspiration or help you get unstuck from something else that you're working on.
One of our stories, the prompt was when a journalist goes too far, and I pretty much wrote a journalist as a villain. And another prompt was a police investigation. And immediately I was like, I want to know what the police side is on this. So I made the police investigation to be from the crime scene, the police officer at the crime scene that the journalist had already left and everything. And I just made it into the same world. I've seen a lot of people make good flashes. We had Mama Maggie come on a few times. People would just post in the chat their flash story. We'd critique it. Had guest hosts come on and critique theirs immediately and give feedback. More give feedback than critique, actually.
Yeah. But I feel like two people can ask, like, I'm wanting the character to come across this way. Did they come across that way? And having that immediate feedback makes it so much easier to be like, okay, this is what I need to go in and do. Or like, whoa. That's not how I wanted the character to be at all. Or that's not what I'm trying to share about the world. Or that's not even the genre that I thought I was writing. So let me reevaluate.
And editing has helped with that too, because now we go back to the videos where we gave initial feedback and we're like, do we still feel the same way before we edit this story?
I found a lot of times we really did too, but the distance made it easier to apply the feedback, even if you got that same feedback early on, which I think is another good point about, letting the story rest. Even if you've let the story rest, maybe immediate feedback won't be helpful, but if someone, writes out that feedback for you and you can go back to it and the feedback when you've let the story rest, then, it gives you a better opportunity to apply the feedback.
I also think that sometimes, even if it's right after you've written something and you're not ready to edit it, or you are, you just wrote it, so maybe you're a little bit touchy about getting feedback, at the same time, if you get feedback immediately, because the story is so fresh in your mind, sometimes your brain will be like, oh, I can fix this way. And then you could write that down. So it's like the option of having the feedback immediately, I think, is always a cool thing. But because it's recorded, it's like you get the best of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also, you got to be with someone you trust. Like, I can tell
Oh,
Chandra,
yeah. Exactly.
like, I'd be like, sweetie, no. And she'll be like, I know. And Chandra can be like, sweetie, this sucks. And I go, I know, help me make it better. like we usually call it out before the other one does. Like, we're never, we can be blunt with each other. And that's really helpful because we know we're not attacking each other. We both have the same goal of making the story better.
Yeah.
And that is very helpful when you have someone that you can parry with on that. I have my guest hosts bothering me.
One thing I will say too about that is, even with other stuff, I mean, we built this over 2 years, so we've been reading each other's work for that amount of time. But I do think it's another good reason to do this with your writing partner or buddy, because even day before yesterday, I started writing something for Nano, and I texted Natalie to say, hey, I wrote something and I don't know if I took things too far. So can you go look at it? But like, we have all this history and, she knows everything. She knows my style and the kind of stuff that I write. So I don't even have to give like disclaimers about like how graphic it's going to be or, whatever. I'm saying, is it too shocking, knowing me? And she just jumps in there and was like, I even wrote notes to myself and comments of like, how does this work? Or, stuff that I needed to.
What is tea time?
Yes. Just like wherever as I'm going, instead of stopping to research. And she goes in there and she like gives me all my feedback and like actually answers my question according to NPR. Here's information about tea time. And it's like, you have.
I love that for you.
It's so good.
I
established that.
I was having fun. I got sucked into the story and I was like, what is tea time? And did my own research because I didn't want to wait for her to do it. So I was impatient.
But it's like,
it wasn't completely benevolent.
But we know this, like going through,
It was completely benevolent. It maybe wasn't completely selfless, but.
Yeah, because I could have looked it up and kept it to myself and not shared it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I left all those comments in because it's going to be helpful, and I'm just going to, duplicate the document to go through with editing. But it's like, if we hadn't already done all of this together, then I don't know that I would have been comfortable doing that for a first draft with zero research done. And it's kind of
was fine.
A little graphic.
Actually, it worries me for how little research you need to do. I'm just saying.
Well,
who, me?
What did we name your FBI agent?
Oh, what was his name? Was it Henry?
I was thinking Charles in my head, but Charles Henry, like one of the first.
They're British names.
Yeah.
Basically, what's happening?
He would know what tea time is.
If he didn't,
like when it is.
Call himself a Brit.
It could be like MI6. We don't know.
We
probably have someone everywhere.
Time is.
You could just drop it in the chat.
What is tea time? Wrong answers only.
Heard of waterboarding? Use tea.
That is very wrong. I love it.
I was going to say,
like, I could be just as dark as Chandra with
like,
my writing. I don't know what keeps me when it comes to, maybe it's the fear of like writing it down, coming back to me and someone not realizing it's fiction. Like, dude, seriously, it's fiction. Calm down.
I as I was doing some research, which it's another one of my pastimes, I found an encyclopedia of like torture, and I was like, "Ooh, that's very handy." But also
for fiction writing.
But also, who decided that was a thing that we needed?
And how did they
well, in
query that?
historically, in a lot of cultures, like people were everyone was tortured, but like in giving to give their testimony. Like the torture was obviously like it wasn't like there are situations where it's like, oh, we only tortured them because they weren't being cooperative. It was like they didn't believe that someone was telling the truth unless they were tortured. So I'm sure the people who had to do that needed a handbook to be like, you know what, this person's being too stoic with the regular methods. I need to try something else.
Let's ramp it up. Actually, and I guess I'll share the link at some point in time, but it's honestly not all like what I had expected. Some of it is like things that should be classified as.
I'm scared to know what is included in torture manual that you think isn't torture.
Wait, like is it just, you know, are we talking about toxic culture then of be like, yeah, no, we just you know, God, what is it? Gaslit this person.
Some of the this is the more I say it out loud, the worse it sounds, but like incidental. Like
you know, you're not on trial here. You can be
like planetary stuff, or like, you know, there's a drought, and so I was actually looking for information on water rationing, which
wait, how?
So they were taking the environment and saying, yeah, we did this, drought on your farm.
It's like living in a situation that like if someone was specifically doing this to you, this would be torture. But in this situation, it's like there's a drought in your area and now everyone's water rationing.
So it's the Book of Job.
Yes.
Wait, is that your torture?
No. Oh gosh, it's funny.
Well, if you're gonna say like, oh, you're in a place that's like having problems accessing water and food and you're stuck there, I'd be like, oh, that's just called government in like a lot of cases. Like across the globe, not funny. Like that's denying human rights.
Oh no, please.
And other things but like, I mean, I would say it belongs in a torture manual.
I could see torture.
Leave your bad circumstances.
Yeah, I could see torture being like, watch a movie about pets and how they have to make a journey across America to go home to their family, and you think the old dog is not going to make it. Like that would be torture.
We both know what you're referencing. Also, though, it always like whenever I hear torture, obviously aside from like the actual really bad stuff, I think of it as in Addams Family Values, where Wednesday and Pugsy Pugsy's away at camp, but like I'm sure he isn't away at camp in this situation, but it's Wednesday and the like geeky guy who kind of has a crush on her, where they're stuck in what they call it, the happy cabin or something.
Yeah,
like but it's like they have
she had to smile, learn to smile and stuff. Yeah,
and they leave, and it was so funny. And then they kind of did a joke off of that in the Netflix show Wednesday, where someone was like, oh, let's watch scary movies, and it's like Wednesday is like, sure, whatever, like expecting it to be really dumb because they're horror movies, so nothing scares her. But instead they show her Legally Blonde and they show like the first opening credits of Legally Blonde, so you know what it is, like, because if you don't know the song Perfect Day, that's opening to Legally Blonde. There was something on YouTube where someone had included it in like the song Perfect Day, like in a reel or something. And everyone was like, oh, like from the Barbie movie. I'm like, what are you talking about? This
God, I feel so old. No. There's kids who didn't realize Matchbox 20, 3 a.m. or Push. I forget which one's in the Barbie movie. They're like, oh, wait, this is an actual song. It wasn't made for the movie. And I'm like, oh my God.
I don't remember which one it was, but I do know what you're talking about.
No, when I think of torture, I go back to Disney, Oliver and Company, and Tito, voiced by Cheech from Cheech and Chong. He goes, his character Tito goes, man, if this is torture, chain me to the wall, and starts smoking.
Yeah. I think you showed me that. So that's how I know. But also, when you said Disney, I was like, oh, it's a small world where it just plays on a loop.
Yep. No, they did that in Shrek for DreamWorks.
I know.
Yep.
Anyway, we got off the rails, but that's kind of
So
like
speaking of torture, the book is the good kind of torture. You're only going to get better. The more prompts you do, the more challenges. Like, honestly, it's to build consistency. And a flash, if your goal is to just put it down, it doesn't matter if you know what tea time is, or you know, how long someone can survive off water or food, or how to make or bake anything or something like that. Like,
you
it
don't
all
have to be fact checking your flash.
Yeah, no, the goal is to make it happen, make it exist.
There is one challenge. There is one challenge that says research something.
I think we did that before.
I'm saying it as a fact. There is one where it says research something, but I don't remember which number it is. And like we said, the challenges are optional. But
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So one is research a place you've only seen in photos, TV, or movies, and set your story there. And then there might have been something else where it was like research something else, but those are challenges, and you don't have to do them.
Yeah, because as a writer, we write what we don't know a lot. So
yeah, like also this is just for you. So unless like in your buddy writing that you agreed with your friend that you're going to swap them and like provide feedback after, no one's going to read these. So if you get something wrong, who cares? It's fiction.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was asking, Natalie is actually one of my critique partners for my own fiction, which has been placed on hold thanks to Inimitable books, but that's fine because I'm also.
I thank you for putting it on hold and publishing mine.
I'm a pocket writer, so like it's not as if if I wasn't doing this company, I would have like put out 3 books. It's like, who knows? I probably would have picked up another project and like not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was asking Natalie for fact checking on certain things, and you know, Natalie gave me feedback, but Natalie was also like, you're also writing science fiction with aliens, and there's only so much I can tell you, and so go for it, like do what you want, and that's really freeing as well. So that applies to here. I'm pointing here because that's where I have the book open on my second monitor.
We have multiple screens.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh yeah, at my TV, which is thankfully not being possessed right now and playing Silence of the Lambs like it did one time when I was a guest, and I was part of a write-a-thon, and all of a sudden my TV turned on to play Silence of the Lambs.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, no.
It was fine. Like I'd watched it, I'd read it and watched it before, so it's not like I was scared, but it was a very strange situation to happen. But
historical ghost is like, there should be a modern movie that could scare people. I think Silence of the Lambs.
So I will say there are 4. Hold on. So here's an instance of like a blank in a prompt. Just another sneak peek. The blank, and then so the first page of any prompt is here, and then there's 1 full page of writing, 2 full pages of writing, 3 full pages of writing. So hopefully that's enough space for anyone. If it isn't, I do apologize. I did try to give people enough writing space without adding so many pages to this book that it would be too expensive to print and therefore unable to be published.
If you notice on that prompt, it said the blank changes. I forget the last word. Changes. The blank changes plan or something like that. So you could throw in the princess. So and again, you can grab a sticker and put it in there. Multiple stickers, because the blank is long if you want to add more words.
Yeah.
And stuff.
But also with those blanks, you could write in your thing and then just use the stickers in the sticker box as well.
Yeah.
The words to include. So it's, there are lots of ways. Riley has not mastered that. Now that I've said it, she probably will, but
hold my doggy
had on our remote before and muted it. before. So
It's always
not my place.
Dobby who does stuff like that. Piper doesn't really care.
Well, Dobby tries to climb everywhere. Dobby, for anyone who doesn't know, is Chandra's orange tabby.
Yeah.
And there is the Dobby Olympics where she has to pick him up and set him back down.
Because he'll jump up on the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chandra's not in her normal office. Don't judge her.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's chaos incarnate, and I know once, like, he's had me yelling at people.
You named him Dobby.
I did.
It's like when Nia Vixen of Fiction is like, oh, Loki's so mischievous. I'm like, repeat
What
that
are the odds? Like, you played yourself. I definitely played myself.
Yeah. I named my dogs Lilo and Stitch is a little bit of the crazy one. Lilo's a little more down to earth. So there might be something to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, Piper, it's like Dora the Explorer, Piper no piping, because she'd be outside just barking at everything.
Riley is like not in spelling, but in sound, one letter off from Wiley, and she definitely is. But Riley also means like Glen or something, like in Irish or Gaelic or something. And she loves grass. So I think there is something about if you name a pet something, they either are already exhibiting it or they live up to their name.
Okay, isn't it also Riley in Inside Out?
Yes.
That movie it's so good, but it always
It made me cry.
They're coming out with the sequel and they said what the new emotions are going to be.
I'm really excited about that.
Ennui was one of them where it's like you can't care about anything, but I can't remember what the other ones are.
I'm excited. That's going to be great.
Okay, anxiety, embarrassment, ennui, and envy.
Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be good.
I feel so bad for the teen that is experiencing all these things.
I mean,
is it going to be a teen or is it going to be someone in their 30s who is trying to just adult correctly?
It's either gonna be Riley when she's older or just someone who's older than Riley. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be like, oh, look at all the new emotions. Are any of them positive?
Would be nice.
I think there's just happiness. That's like the positive without a downside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, that's the way it wasn't with Riley too. It was
joy.
I know, but I mean they're adding 4 new emotions and none of them are just like, oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah.
That checks out.
It's not like, oh, excitement, you know.
I think that excitement doesn't, like, it starts out like when you're a little kid and then there's like a big jump where there's like, what is excitement? And then maybe I'm hoping it comes back later.
Yeah, like there's anxiety. There was already fear. Like
yeah.
There's gonna be fear and anxiety. You don't want to like have curiosity or like confusion at the very least, you know, something slightly less.
Maybe like fear like splits off into like multiple things. So fear is standing there and it's like all of a sudden there's like 3 others and they're like
it's like cloning.
Yeah.
This isn't even my final form.
Yeah, spawning.
Speaking of cloning though, I did also have a story where that happened.
Yep. One of the recent ones I updated was what if people could upload?
Yes.
Or update, which was interesting.
That was
and we
fun.
both had different takes on that.
Yeah, I liked that one.
That's my favorite thing is like I get to explore my own little world of what I think it will be, and then I get to explore your world too, and I'm like, ooh, this is interesting because we use the same 10 words, the same prompts.
Natalie's was more or less the idea of your doctor cracking like an inappropriate joke just before you go under. It has you like, I'm sorry.
No,
what?
The person was already under, but I mean,
as the reader, you're like observing and you're like, excuse me.
Like you don't know that it's your doctor's first time uploading a person and they're like, or updating a person. And yeah.
It's just like compared to the, you know, real life experience I've had where someone's like, Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never seen this before, and I'm like, could you not have kept that sentence to yourself, or like told your medical like coworkers after I'd left?
Yeah.
Out of earshot, because what you think is out of earshot is not out of earshot for me. I have incredible hearing.
Oh, that happens a
Well,
lot in
that's
our
not
stories of like overhearing stuff, and that's actually most of our stories that you feel like a fly on the wall. There were a few first person ones. I'm trying to remember.
That's something I don't feel like I do very often. Maybe challenge me.
I did. I know I had a few challenges where I actually gave the perspective of a gay man, which I am not.
Really?
Yep.
I am.
I mean, I could be.
But I know you're not, so that's being.
Well, we have one thing in common, me and gay men.
Yes, but
it's not my style.
You don't have to say what that is. That's one of the things that my company is built around, is not forcing people to out the things that make them diverse.
Which is one of my favorite things.
Not out what makes them special. And then I was like,
not exploit.
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, we're special in things that aren't necessarily counted as on a diversity checklist. So
yeah,
I was like, no, I want to rephrase that. Yeah,
I do think the POV is super important. I recently read a book that was largely written in second person, and I don't think I've ever read a book written that way before. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but it was really good.
I still need to read. I know there's one on my list that's mostly written in second person. And the last time I read second person, it was fan fiction. And of course, fan fiction, nothing against fan fiction, but when I was reading it, it was a very young crowd. We're talking like almost 20 years ago.
I thought you were going to say very young crowd, 20-something-year-olds. And I was going to be like, I mean, I know.
Almost 20 years ago. And we like typos, inconsistent hair color of characters, name change and stuff like that. So, but it was a fan fiction about Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, as well as there was one about Michael Phelps, and then Harry Potter fan fiction and such. So, yeah. But again, I'm hoping that reading a book instead of something just posted on the internet is gonna change my mind about second person. Who knows? It might inspire me.
I will definitely send you this one, but I will say it made it more intense because of it's definitely a book that requires all kinds of trigger warnings, but the main
not the flash fiction.
Oh yeah, no, this is just as far as being written in second person, but it was
I mean, when you add your prose, the flash fiction prompt book could require trigger warnings, but as it is
the built-in what's printed and therefore technically out of your control, does not require any trigger warnings.
I think there might be some challenges of like writing.
I mean, if you have such a bad relationship with religion that naming a type of religious like place of worship is a problem, then you might have some problems with the fact that the word cathedral is like included, or synagogue and mosque and things like that. But like the prompts themselves and the challenges are not. Religious trauma can hit you anywhere is basically what I'm saying.
Most people don't know their triggers until they're triggered.
This is true. That I mean, I've definitely found stuff like that, reading a lot. I think though that is another fun thing about flash fiction, is being able to approach things like that and be like, can I do this in a really short form and see if it works for you or not? But whether it be writing second person, like there's no way I'm going to write a full book in second person. Not going to happen. But if I just wanted to take it out for a spin and see how I felt about it, flash fiction.
I have yet to read a non-triggering book in second person.
That's fair.
Oh,
that is fair.
And it's nothing again. It's not that it's in second person that's triggering. It's the content of the book was triggering and is written in second person.
I think it kind of lends itself to that, though.
It does, and we can talk about this and not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but yeah, try a challenge. Actually, is one of our challenges to write in second person?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That's something that Chandra and I haven't done. But we will do at some. I'm sure we're gonna, once the book is published, that's where we're gonna get a lot of our prompts from.
So this is,
and we will continue doing Flash Fiction Live, and who knows, we might get inspired for more.
And you can pre-order this.
If you pre-order this, you also increase the chances of there being a maybe volume 2 with other prompts.
That sounds like a good potential thing. So,
you know, maybe the title would be 1,000 More Words to get started.
It could
be genre based.
Maybe basically buy the book so that if you know, maybe we can make this into a series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and don't forget that if you pre-order, you also get those bonus words.
Yes,
a whole sheet
of what Chandra and I like to call $10 words.
So
you're getting your money's worth, because the book itself is rounded $17.
Yes.
So.
And that is with stickers. So how often can you say as an adult you got a sticker book? Because essentially it comes with stickers, and there are places to put them in the book. So
it's true.
And sticker book.
Oh, and then honestly, if you get words left over, you could make your own little sentences, but you don't have articles, by the way. And put it together and make your own sentences with the stickers that you got left over.
This makes a really good gift, so jot that down.
Makes a good gift. Makes a good way to buddy write.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of buddy reads. You've probably heard of buddy.
If you have trouble finishing stories, try one of the flash fictions. If like White Page scares you and everything, maybe our prompts will help inspire you and expose you to a blank page multiple times so that it doesn't feel as daunting.
I will say it's not a full-on blank page. They are lined, but close.
Yeah.
If you have the book, once you get it, and we're streaming, you can come sit with us and start a prompt in one of our sprints.
We will never say you can't sit with us, okay? We're not mean girls.
That's true. You can always sit with us.
Yeah.
You sit with us.
Yeah, pre-order it.
It's on Goodreads as well.
Kindly bully your writing friends into also pre-ordering it.
Mm-hmm. If you're bullying them, don't write anything down, because then it can be tracked to you and your FBI agent will find out. But
just buy it for them and write a note where it's like,
it's not bullying if you give it
do this with me.
It's not bullying if you give it as a gift.
Yes. So pre-order, but also register pre-order on the link that's currently ticking across the screen. It's also in the pinned comment in the chat and also in the description under this YouTube video, because you have to scroll down a little bit to fill in the form. And that's where I will know to send the extra word stickers. I hope everyone has a good time with this when this comes out. It comes out in June of 2024. It comes out about 2 weeks before National Flash Fiction Day. It is National Flash Fiction Day in the UK. I couldn't find one for the US, but you know what? It's a National Flash Fiction Day, and that's what matters.
I say we just make our own.
Yeah. You know what? Just do that. Maybe you'll host streams that are like specifically like from the book. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, for sure. And everyone can just bring their copy and sit around. You can still sit with us if you don't have it, but you'll probably have more fun sitting with it if you do have it. So
yeah, oh my god, and all the different prompts, how we can change it. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, here too, I love this that you can. I'll be writing the same prompt, but use completely different words.
Yes.
So,
and I will say, the words I think is like a constant challenge, because there's been times that Chandra and I struggled in figuring out how to put the word in naturally. And once or twice the words don't feel natural and we're like, okay, when we edit, that word's coming out. But other times it's like, ooh, that was genius.
Yeah, being able to apply that's part of the creativity of it, is learning to use words in a context that you wouldn't usually. I think that's part of what makes you think creatively, and I do enjoy that.
Yeah, we're here about exercising the creative muscle.
There's also no rule against you using this to like write something in a world that you've already created for books or short stories.
Absolutely.
So
That's true.
So it's not just like, oh, I need to get out of a writing rut. And, you know, maybe you're someone who feels like, oh, I can't write something if it's not related to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'll just never go back to what I'm doing. That's okay.
It can be sequential to the stories you already created, or it could be like years vastly before or after. Just start writing, and then you can figure out the timeline later.
Yeah, you can
where
use
it
it
falls
to
in your
write.
story.
You can use it to write scenes from your project. I know I've seen some other authors release like not deleted scenes, but like a part of the character sketch when you're working on a character sketch and you need to put that character in a situation to see how they respond and really develop them. This is also a great way to do that. Honestly, when I get stuck on something, I will write a flash fiction about a character or the location or whatever it is, just to help myself build it out without, putting too much pressure on it. Like, oh, where's this going to fit in the book? Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to fit. I'm just doing this to develop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With that said, pre-order,
please.
And we will see you all at future streams. I, as someone who normally is doing writing sprints here on this channel, will not be doing them for the rest of this month, because the Inimitable authors have, including Natalie, Chandra, I think was busy the whole time. So maybe Chandra will pop up. The Inimitable authors are taking over the channel to host writing sprints throughout the month of November for NaNoWriMo. There's also going to be a 10K day. All of it is on the YouTube channel scheduled. But if you go to the live page, but also there's a playlist for them chronologically. And then they do their flash fiction live stuff. Also, I will be a co-host on some other people's live streams. They might be doing the same. And so we'll be around. It's November. Writers are everywhere, online and nowhere in real life during this month, because we're hunkering down and working. So see you all next time, whenever and wherever that may be. And please pre-order the book, because it's really, really cool. And we're very excited for our first nonfiction title here at Inimitable. Bye.
Bye.